y'all, we are about to cut another coupe up. And yes, before I hear all of the comments about why are you cutting up a coupe, this one's kind of like, well, let me show you. She's got some rust on her. She's got some Bondo on the quarters anyway. The rest of it's really good shape. And Meredith is here. And she is excited to cut this coupe up so that we can have another Fastback, right?
Yeah.
So she's kind of got an idea for the color of this thing and everything. So it's, oh wait, maybe not.
Maybe not. I can come up with something though.
Yeah. So she's just helping me tape up, very weirdly, but taping up the vent.
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Huh?
It's not what I was supposed to do?
No. It's just like, wow, you're wasting a lot of tape there.
I'm a novice.
Just kidding. No, I don't think she wants to be portrayed as a novice. So we're gonna kind of make her more of an expert here.
I'm an expert taper.
Expert tape coming your way. Anyway, so we've got a coupe to Fastback. We are working on. This girl is originally a T-code. Yeah, she has double windshields right now. I know. We're gonna take that off and get it all ready to cut up. So enjoy, everyone. All right, so one of the things just from doing this in the past is you want to catch this edge here and you want to label that. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape. I know I'm going to take that off here in a minute, but I just want to know where the edge of that is so I can cut to the right of it. So I know I'm not getting into any of the good metal that I'm going to be keeping. So anything from this edge over is fair game. So we're going to say first cut. All right, so we're gonna get started here. I am a lot less nervous than the first time, you know? First time was like, wow, I'm cutting the coupe off. And yeah, so there is a little bit of that going on here, but let's do it anyway. All right. No turning back after this. Ear protection would have been nice if I would have started with that. All right, next side. There it is. So just to the left of it this time. All right, so we got the second or fourth cut, I guess that is. But now we're gonna go to the roof, get it all cut, and it'll be a convertible. Trying these out for the first time, we'll see. Don't wanna get into this, so we're gonna stop right about there. Kind of come up here and make a straight line across there. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna try to salvage this package tray for somebody. I'm gonna try. If it doesn't work out, I'll quit. But for now, I'm gonna try. Didn't mean to do that, but oh well. Oops, I didn't mean to do that either. Well, I'm just gonna make all kinds of holes here today until I figure it out. All right, because this is a good package tray, I'm just gonna cut this whole section out. My marker is gone. I'm gonna cut that all out, and maybe somebody will appreciate that. So what I'm gonna do also is I'm gonna keep this tail panel as much as I can. So I'm gonna do some really, as much surgical removal as I can of this piece right here. So I may have to just clean it up so I can find all those spot welds. So I want it separated from this, and it'd be nice to go ahead and take this whole thing off as one piece for somebody. I think that's either presidential blue or midnight blue. I used to have a midnight blue car, so that's why I kind of partial. It's so weird how we're partial to the things we used to have, you know, and I think that's why we do these old cars, is because we want to make them like what we used to have. And my first car was a 67 Mustang, midnight blue. So now I like midnight blue. This saves so much work by doing it this way. Now we just need to cut this out. Good deal. Next one. So the reason I'm taking such time here is I'm actually trying to save these wheel wells. I'm gonna try to attempt to make things a lot easier for me in the long run. All right, so we have a good chunk of it done. As far as the metal cut off, I mean, obviously there's a lot more to be cut, and there'll be some more fine tuning here, but we're gonna surgically remove this quarter. That's why I try to do it a little bit different this time, because I'm gonna try to keep these wheel wells. So it's questionable. I've got the metal if I need it, but it's questionable if I can really do what I'm trying to do. So we'll see what happens and get this going. All right, so we've got the package tray out. So the next piece is we are going to do something different this time, and we're gonna leave this piece in here. Yeah, I know there's a hole here for the coupe and the convertible that is not there on the Fastback, but I'm planning to fill that in, and I think that's gonna be an easier fix than redoing all of this. I'll let you know how that turns out, if that's a mistake or not. We have the metal if I need to change it out. But yeah, so I'm gonna be taking all the spot welds out of this, and I really feel like this is the first step or the next step, because if you start taking off the metal and start pulling all of this metal out, it just really ruins the structural integrity that these things have while you're drilling on this, pushing on it and everything. So you want to try to keep all of this as structurally as possible for now until you get these spot welds out, because it's a little bit time consuming and I want to take my time here. I'm not going to cut any more out of here until I get those disconnected on both sides, and then we'll start cutting from the back moving forward. Look at this disaster. So guys, what we got is some good progress here. So I was able to safely, I'll be able to straighten all this out, safely take away the coupe inner structure from this side, saving all this metal. And then the same thing, just very careful to get this disconnected. Now that it's disconnected, I can go ahead and make some cuts and get the rest of this quarter panel off right here and maybe right here, and just get off the big pieces, so then I can come in and fine tune this piece under here and have access in there. It's one of the hardest pieces to weld and to get right. It's just this little piece right here. Trying to think of ways to make it easier here. We have found the Bondo. Yeah, these quarters were very well bondoed. So, yeah, that's pretty thick. That's pretty thick, folks. Anyway, made a cut all the way across. This thing's about ready just to fall out. So, hopefully I get that on camera. There's a little accident years back that we will not repair like that. Call that Bondo. But inside here, guys, is where you can see there's lots of spot welds there that you'll just need to carefully remove, and also kind of get it away from this area, because I'm liking how this turned out. It turned out pretty well. I think I can clean that up, fix it up, and it'll be okay. Yeah, we got a big hole here. Yeah, that's not great, but I can get it. All right, so we have the roof off, and man, they just did not cover any rust protection at all from the factory. So that's what's underneath all our roofs. So after I got most of the metal removed, I decided to go ahead and place the new metal on the car. Yeah, not all of it is prepped and ready to be covered with the new metal, but at least I wanted to get the fit and make sure I was in the right general area for everything lining up. Everything lined up really well. Was replacing those outer wheel housings since they were all rusted out. All right, so we got these outer wheel housings in. So now we are gonna just spray them down with some primer, keep them protected from the elements for a bit, and then we're gonna start fitting up some sheet metal again. Let's go. All right, so now it's time to make some holes in the support brackets. So this tool is just like butter when it comes to that. You just, I mean, so simple and easy to use. So it's just a really time saver. So kind of go along your marks, kind of get as close as you can. And then you have a hole started, and you can make it bigger. That's what I do. Sometimes I typically make it to a little bit bigger, so that way I have more to plug weld. But yeah, typically this will do it. So then I just take a bit here, and I'm just gonna make it that much bigger. Now you can see I've got these marked. Circles mean I've got tech screws, so I don't want to lose those as reference. Just want to enlarge these just a tad. These don't even have them. And now we have holes. We just need to grind off the side, the back side, so that way it's smooth, and then we're good to go. I will have to say the weld through primer is a time savings for sure. The other piece that I'm gonna make holes in is this piece, and I'm actually gonna start at the front edge too. Now, one thing to note is on a 67, some of the 68s too, but they come with these pins for your molding strips, molding clips. It holds the clips and it holds the molding in. Yeah, and so you don't want to put any welds close to that, because you're not going to be able to grind them down very easily without messing up those bits. So just be careful on your placement of those.
So this project has been a blast, and I'm really excited about the progress we've made so far. So real quick, I wanted to share with you the money and the hours we've spent so far. We spent $2,500 on the actual Mustang purchase. We spent $3,800 on the Fastback metal. We spent $445 for the freight shipping, and we spent $30 on some tools needed for the conversion, totaling $6,775. Now for the hours spent, we spent 8 hours on sheet metal removal, 1 hour on the test fit, 8 hours on the metal prep and punching holes and cleanup, and then another hour on test fit number 2. 4 hours on measuring, fitting, and measuring again. 4 hours welding at home and smoothing all the welds. And then 6 hours of body work and that 2 hours of the engine bay stripping for a total of 34 hours. So here are some measurements that are crucial to a coupe to fastback conversion. They're crucial because once you get that roof off of the coupe, you really have nothing to go by. So these measurements really help things out. And it all starts with that back glass. If you get the back glass correct, most things will fall into place. Starting at the bottom, you'll see a 42 and an 8 across the bottom of it. If you just move up to the center of the window, you should see a measurement of 44 1/4. And across the top, you're looking at 45 3/4. Now, one long measurement that takes 2 people to accomplish is from the filler panel to the front lip of the windshield. And that's going to be at 78 3/4 of an inch, which should leave you at 33 1/2 from hip to hip or inside the edge of the back glass. Now, 2 critical measurements are diagonal across from the back glass. If you get these correct, then everything else will fall into place a lot easier. And I got 54 1/4 diagonal, both sides. All in all, this project is really shaping up, and I'm super excited to share with you the next phase in the upcoming video.